And a very good evening. Welcome to the launch field here in Montbéliard. My name's Regan Tetlow, and this is the 63rd Coupe du Monde Gordon Bennett with a slightly delayed start. We were looking for a 7 o'clock launch, and we had a problem this morning with the Spanish team and a technical issue with their system, which meant we had to get a replacement down. We also had a little bit of gusts coming through here about half an hour ago, and the decision was made at the team briefings to delay to 8:45. And by my calculations, that is just about where we are now. So 20 teams from all over the world lined up for this extreme event, the most difficult balloon championships anywhere in the world. One of the oldest air sports as well, brought to you by the FAI, the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, the World Air Sports Federation. This is one of my highlights of my year, the launch of the Gordon Bennett. It is full of all the dignitary and all the emotion and romance of aviation that it could possibly be. A crowd of possibly 20,000 people are gathered here on the airfield to watch this iconic start to this great championships. Just behind me now we have the team from Luxembourg, and they're a team that have not competed before in the Gordon Bennett. A very first time for these gentlemen. Let's just, without my glasses, see if I can give you the names. They are on system Golf, Charlie Golf, Oscar Zulu, and it's Carlo Andet and Claude Zabur who will be taking us to the skies very shortly. Gathered around them now is their team, their ground crew, with the final checks taking place. And another breeze comes through the airfield now. Just feeling what's happening, just looking around at the flags. There is some air moving around. It's no longer light and variable. There is now a gust coming through, probably 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 knots. You can see the teams in the basket. They are buoyant now. They're being held down by the ground crew, the chase crew, who will be following them throughout the rest of the days that they are in the air. It is the World Cup of gas ballooning. It's all about the distance, how far away from here you get. The furthest from this point, when the last one lands, will be the champion. It's not about the endurance, it's not about how long you can be in the air, but there is a record for that. The record is set at 92 hours by Willy Elmers. And the conditions which the meteorologists have been telling us give us the idea that it could be possible to be going for that 4 or 5 days. We could be possibly looking at a new endurance record. But remember, the Gordon Bennett is about the distance, as far as you can go. If you've been looking at the interviews we've been giving you for the last few hours, you know that we've been talking about the strategies and the possible trajectories for these pilots. And one first option is staying low and slow, heading off to the west through France, possibly into the UK. Another option is going high and fast, up high above us, 5,000 meters, and then heading down south east through the continent of Europe, out over the sea, down through the leg of Italy. Another strategy which has been looked at is to take another high option going out towards the north, well, the northeast, or more tracking towards the east, out through Hungary and that way along, and that's where a long distance could be. Just looking behind me, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 balloons lined up. The stars are coming out. It is almost a full moon just behind the camera there. I think it actually might be a full moon, as we try to do with the Gordon Bennett. His launch was much available nighttime light as we possibly can. 20 balloons for the launch to be flying through the night. And remember, you can keep a track on the system with the Aero.Gordon Bennett, with the live tracking, with the GPS we have in the system. Shall we walk a little bit closer and just see what we can what we can find out. We'll try not to disturb them too much. I'll let you have a look and come back to me afterwards. With each launch we do, we'll be playing the national anthem of the country. And the crowd of over 20,000 will be cheering as we start the Gordon Bennett. Another big gust comes through the airfield, pulling at the balloon, pulling at the basket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people gathered around the basket, holding them down, holding them in place. Last minute telephone calls. This first flight for this team from Luxembourg. Their very first time in the Gordon Bennett. The crowd falls silent as we wait for the start of the world's oldest air sport. If you just joined us on the live stream, a very good evening and welcome to the launch field here in Montbéliard in France. What a hot day it has been. 28 at one point. We were walking around the field doing the interviews with the teams and getting very, very hot indeed. We're just waiting for the launch and for the official go-ahead to start the 63rd Gordon Bennett. Next year, as we know, we will be in Poland, possibly in Wrocław. And the reason we are here now is because 2 years ago, the team from France took the win in Gruyere in Switzerland with that iconic final flying, threading through the needle between Kaliningrad and Belarus. I think it was 30 kilometers, the gap they had to get through. Just looking behind me, the podium and the deputy director of the Gordon Bennett are prepared and ready. Team Luxembourg are quiet and composed. Behind them, the brand new team from Australia with their brand new canopy prepared for their flight tonight. Behind them, behind Australia, we have the first of the German teams. Sorry, the Great British team. I do apologise. So I'm just watching now the team from Luxembourg just to see if I can see from their body language how they are. They seem calm. They seem relaxed. No real pressure on them right now. The flag of Luxembourg fluttering in the breeze here on the airfield in Montbéliard. So the full moon behind the camera lights the way, but also we have the big spotlights that we always use for the launch of the Gordon Bennett. What do you think, people at home? Is that a full moon, or is it just short of a full moon? The crowd are calm and prepared and waited. We started. Oh, the crowd have been told something exciting.
Ses parents et les attend au niveau de la tour de contrôle, au poste de sécurité, excusez-moi. Donc la petite Léane attend ses parents.
It's a big crowd here now. I think there's got to be over 20,000 people. And they started arriving from, well, midday onwards. There's a full carnival atmosphere here with stalls and vendors and food and drink and refreshments and even a bouncy castle as well. You can see the breeze pushing through the bottom of the canopy there. On a trouvé des petites voitures qui sont au niveau de la tour de contrôle. Merci. So I believe we're just waiting for the rest of the officials to arrive to signal the start. And we just heard now that it's time to bring the balloon on to the podium. So Team Luxembourg in their very first Gordon Bennett, a time to move towards the podium. Luxembourg, here we go, starting the move now. The group gathered round, keeping this balloon from escaping out of their grip, from it rising into the air too early. You'll see the launch will take them very fast in the direction that they're walking from right now. Just being told only 4 people allowed onto the podium. And then traditionally they will test the balance, release once or twice and catch hold again before the actual launch. Just tuned in, a very good evening and welcome to the launch site here. The crowd now see what's happening. They know we're about to start. There we go, lifting up onto the launch platform. Team Luxembourg.
Voilà, le premier ballon vient d'arriver sur le podium. Ce sont nos amis luxembourgeois, messieurs Arendt et Zomer.
Onto the podium they go now. And it is Team Luxembourg, Carlo Ardet and Claude Saber on Golf Charlie. Golf Oscar Zulu, Luxembourg, the first to take us into the sky tonight. Now, just finding the buoyancy, the balance. A lot of people speaking at once. Lots of wait being shouted.
Voilà, mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs, je vous invite donc à vous lever et à vous décoiffer pour l'hymne luxembourgeois.
And here we are, the national anthem of Luxembourg, getting the Gordon Bennett 2019 off to a start. the first of 20 teams. And it's a release. They are underway. The crowd here tonight cheering as they launch up into the sky. What a great moment for this team. National anthem from Luxembourg as up and away they go. The second team to launch tonight will be from Australia with their brand new balloon. As they make their way forward to the podium. And it is Delta Oscar Golf Bravo Lima, Darius Brawaski and Christopher Sanders from Australia.
La distance officielle qu'ils vont parcourir, alors que vous voyez sur le ballon luxembourgeois, ils ont aussi, en plus du phare rouge, mis en dessous ce qu'on appelle le strobe.
They're being called up to the platform.
En boîte de nuit, et donc ce strobe qui garantit la sécurité.
Moving forward. Off they go. This is a tricky mitt, getting up the stairs as we move on to the podium. They're clearing the steps now. Forward they go into the centre. Finding their position. Asking the teams to be quiet.
Voilà exactement le même principe du ballon précédent. Décollage donc d'ici quelques instants. On commence à enlever les premiers sacs de sable de l'Est. Et on va essayer que ça décolle.
So as we wait for Australia to make their way into the sky, we've got our next team here from Great Britain lined up. Great Britain, how are you doing? How are you doing, guys?
Hello.
Hello to everybody back home.
Hello, everyone back home. Hope you're cheering for us. We're getting ready for a top 10 finish.
Well, I've got to say, if you do make your way towards the coast and it looks like you're on the edge of Europe, will you remain or will you leave?
I think we'll have a go at remaining, but we might well just slip away.
The national anthem of Australia. Let's just give a moment for them. And off they go into the sky. Australia rising up.
True Commonwealth country.
It's a brilliant moment, isn't it? It's a beautiful moment.
It is. It's just awesome. When they get the lights on the envelope and everything, it's just great.
Off they go now, Britain making their way to the platform for the third launch. Australia there into the sky as Great Britain, number 3, make their way to the podium. And they are in Delta Oscar Charlie Oscar X-ray, and it's John Rose and Anne Rich, Great Britain.
voulez voir justement suivre de moi les talons du sont les plages justement rouge et blanc qu'on voit là-bas. On voit la distance parcourue par le premier.
Again, this is the tricky moment, just getting and managing the steps. Up they go. Now up the steps onto the podium. This is a tricky bit for the ground crew as well. The Union Jack on our side into the camera. One more step to negotiate. He's on the edge of the step there. Just lift a little bit more. And now to the center. Tempers afraid from the officials.
On va donc voir maintenant le premier ballon anglais à décoller, suivant le même principe, encore une fois, de ballon qui est complètement lesté.
So we did have a late start for the Gordon Bennett tonight. For two reasons. We were waiting for the new parachute from France, from Spain, the Spanish team to arrive, and also the gusty conditions. We were trying to just let those die away as well. But we are underway. We've got two away, Luxembourg and Australia climbing away, and the United Kingdom, Great Britain on the podium, ready for their launch. So now the ground crew are just feeling the balance, getting the balance right. Final checks for the team inside. What a moment, what a great moment of aviation this is for this team from Great Britain. Illuminated by the big spotlight. 20,000 people in attendance watching the action, and the people back home as well. A very good evening to you all watching on Gordon Bennett TV. All hands off, they say. This is the test. Solar panel. Sandbags removed. Hands off, you'd say. Catch. So it's hands off and catch, just to make sure they've got enough of the weight away. They do take extra sandbags. You see the sandbags being removed. Now we can see it wanting to rise, wanting to fly, wanting to be away. Third team into the sky, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Great Britain. Great Britain rising away, dropping down their bottom light as they fly into the sky. Next we have Belgium 1 Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November Gert Peersman and Philippe de Kock. Now Gert has flown 4 times in Gordon Bennett and Philippe de Kock 12 times in the Gordon Bennett, so we have some experience here for us. The flag of Belgium waits at the steps.
Donc que vous voyez devant vous s'éloigner les ballons là-bas au fond, les deux premiers. Le but, c'est bien évidemment pas d'aller plus vite, mais d'aller vraiment le plus loin, d'obtenir le plus longtemps possible.
Et on va donc continuer avec ce départ après nos amis anglais. Voici qu'arrive le premier équipage belge. Messieurs.
So there they go, off climbing to the southwest. Great Britain following Australia and Luxembourg, and now Belgium won, negotiating the steps onto the platform. High now, well above the steps there. Good technique for Belgium. Slight slip at the back, but now down to the centre. So first job, get themselves podium, get themselves comfortable, saying welcome to the podium. They'll start removing the extra ballast.
Voilà donc, messieurs, Persman, les deux coqs de la Belgique qui sont actuellement sur le podium.
Testing the ballast there with hands off for Belgium. Good Pearsman. Philippe de Kock, all hands off, testing again.
Voilà, on va préparer la Brabançonne, mon cher.
We're going to take a few more bags away.
On est en train d'enlever les derniers sacs de l'Est. On en rajoute peut-être un ou deux, visiblement, pour être sûr que
20 teams in this year's Gordon Bennett 2019 here in Montpellier.
choix du pilote, savoir si on prend un peu plus de sable, un peu moins.
Officials asking the team if they are ready. They are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Belgium. Hands off. Here they go. Into the sky. Climbing straight, actually, now, not getting the same push as the other teams. There you go, Belgium. The national anthem of Belgium, off they go. Before that, Great Britain were off and away.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It feels great.
It's very emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the first time we've had a lady pilot in our basket.
Miss Rose.
Yeah, Miss Rich.
Rich.
Yeah, and Rich, and so that's a real privilege, and we just love the fact that we're leading with that. There's only 2 women pilots here, and it's great to be one of them, and I think both her and John would do a great flight, and I think they're going to be the lightest crew that we've had so far, and I think that's going to make a big difference.
It went up fast. They really went up fast.
Yeah, well, they were still throwing sand out when they went up. We had to tell them to stop.
I must say, it's a big privilege to always announce the national anthem of my own country.
Yeah. It's great to hear it. Every time we do it, there's a lump in our throats, you know. And
It is, yeah.
to be here doing that and see the flag flying because there's a bit of breeze tonight, you know, it's just lovely. And they lit the envelopes so well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Well, there we go. Back to the action with, is it USA?
Yes.
USA. See you later. Thank you very much. The next team into the sky is USA 1. Sherry White. She's competed 11 times. And of course, the iconic Mike Sullivan. Mark has competed 22 times in the Gordon Bennett. Checking the ballast. Here's the national anthem of the United States of America. the national anthem of United States of America. John Grisham's with me now. We just said the Texas Star is the brightest. What about this for a launch?
Oh, isn't it an amazing evening here in Montbéliard? We're having such a large crowd, such a lot of interest from media, and such a wonderful evening.
It's such a great experience. It's got to be one of the last great adventures of aviation.
Well, this, taking off in the middle of the night, where you take off, but you have no idea where you're going. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, that's a story of my life, John.
And mine, perhaps. From A to X.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right, back to the action now. Our next team making their way onto the podium. And we have Austria 1. And they are in Delta Oscar Romeo Zulu Lima, Gerard Stutzger and Wolfgang Spate. Do apologise for my pronunciations here in the dark. It's not sometimes very easy. So, Austria into the centre of the podium.
La position de départ de ce ballon, on commence à enlever les premiers sacs de lest qui sont là justement pour maintenir ce ballon au sol.
And there we go. All hands are off. Just testing the ballast. You can see a great shot of the water there. The water container, fresh water. You can hear the creaking as it waits to lift into the sky.
Voilà, vous pouvez voir les pilotes qui sont en train de régler les dernières suspentes de leur ballon. Ils ont tendu complètement les vannes en dessous. Ils enlèvent le dernier sac de sable.
20 teams in total here at the Gordon Bennett. So it looks like we're going to actually a technical issue here with this balloon. It needs to be fixed before takeoff, so they are going to move it off the platform, and we will move through to the next team, which I do believe is one of the Polish teams. So just to recap what's happening there, a technical problem with this system from Austria 1, and we will move now to Poland 1, the winners of last year, on to the podium for their launch. Just being told to move further away for the start. Poland 1 making their way on to the platform. Matthias Rekis and Jacek Bogdalinski. Poland 1 on Delta Oscar Alpha Bravo Delta. Up the steps. So I just want to ask one of my colleagues here, do you know what the technical difficulty was there?
So when the balloon has a filling hose in the bottom of the balloon, and that is not opening yet, and when the balloon is ascending, it will not be able to extend the hydrogen, and it could actually rupture if they are not fixing that problem.
Thank you very much, Christian. So Poland 1 now on the platform, ready for their launch as we prepare for the winners from last year to make their way into the sky. Just gathered around the basket. Again, another breeze pushing through the airfield. Extra ballast being removed now. That's what's been holding them down on the ground, as well as the ground crews as well. So the extra ballast is removed. And Poland 1 prepare to see if they can repeat the win from last year. Just checking there the ballast. A beautiful view to the left of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 balloons lined up, ready for their launch. All hands off, they're saying. No, they're still not quite ready with that ballast. They still want to remove some more sand.
Je n'ai pas d'informations
Checking
sur le
again the ballast.
Autrichien qui a été
Poland one, all hands off.
descendu du podium. Je ne sais pas si
Catching
les
again.
techniques sont dessus en tout cas.
It's an interesting
Nos amis polonais donc
technique
qui vont
we have for these teams.
décoller.
A lot of communication. There's maybe 12 people around the basket, all tense, nervous for the launch. We're ready for the Polish team to make their way to the sky, and the national anthem of Poland should start any moment now. Good luck, they say. Big smiles from Jacek. High fives. Here it is, national anthem of Poland, ladies and gentlemen. Off they go. Spoko. Dzięki Poland. Off they go now, Dos. See you next time. One of our interview guests from today. Now, the first of our netted balloons from France, Team France 2 on Foxtrot Papa Papa Sierra Echo. It's Eric Decliers and Bernard Chalet. Now, this is the one that looks like some kind of a satellite system rolling on the wheels with the aluminium around the basket. Oh, listen to the crowd. Listen to that crowd. The first of the French teams on to the podium. Must be 20,000 people gathered here today for this beautiful launch, and a great appreciative round of applause from the audience from France. Vive la France! Allez, allons-y.
Voilà, j'étais en contact avec les équipes d'organisation qui viennent de me donner justement quelques informations sur le problème du ballon autrichien. Bah, tout simplement, je vous l'ai dit, le ballon à gaz, il est rempli de gaz et il va se vider, ou du moins on va lui donner consigne de se vider pour descendre. Et donc avant de partir en vol, on vérifie toujours justement qu'on puisse lâcher un tout petit peu de gaz pour être sûr qu'on pourra redescendre. En l'occurrence, c'est au niveau de cet appendice qui posait un petit problème technique. Donc ils sont actuellement en train de tenter de tirer sur les ficelles, voir si cet appendice pourrait se décoller. On va même amener une échelle, je vois à côté. Et en fonction de ces possibilités, on verra si le ballon pourra partir ou pas. En tout cas, le directeur des vols statuera bien évidemment en fonction, d'abord pour un problème technique, de s'assurer que le ballon part bien dans des conditions techniques et non pas qu'on va jouer la course à tout prix. Donc, c'est pas le but. On part bien évidemment avec un ballon en bon état pour la sécurité des gens. Et puis aussi pour des raisons de concurrents. Il est normal que tous les concurrents jouent avec les mêmes conditions. Donc, le premier ballon français, messieurs, du Soleil et avec qui va se présenter sur le point zéro dans quelques instants.
What a great cheer came out from that crowd, Marcus Hagenay.
Yes.
Wow, what a night!
Oh, unbelievable. Great.
What's the main difference with these netted balloons?
Well, netted, this is how ballooning started in the early days. They had a net across the envelope or above the envelope. This is extremely lightweight. The net, I believe, is only 6 kilos. Very, very lightweight, very thin lines. Technically, it doesn't really matter if you have a netless or netted balloon. It's just the way it's built.
And the late start, tell us the reasons for the we started late tonight.
Well, we had to wait for the wind to calm down a little bit and be more supportive with the launch. So we thought it's better to do it now. And well, here we are. Everything is going very well.
Look at this. It looks like a satellite. It looks like it's ready for space with all the aluminium.
Absolutely. They have solar panels and obviously some aluminium to protect against the cold air when they're flying high. And these guys are ready to fly high. I mean, 5,000 meters plus. A couple of years ago, they crossed the Mont Blanc at 5,500 meters.
Wow. Marcus Hagenet, thank you very much. It is France into the sky, the first of our French teams. It is France to Eric de Colliers and Bernard Hallet, ready and finding the balance, taking away the bags which have been holding them down to the ground, restricting them from flight. Hands off now, testing.
C'est né en France, mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs. L'équipage est prêt. Voyez qu'on vérifie justement que le ballon est à la fois suffisamment délesté avant de le lancer.
Once more, hands off. As we ready and wait, listen to the cheer from the crowd when we start the national anthem of France. We're going to let this national anthem play out without any interruption from me. Here we go. Wow, what a great response from this great French crowd watching the action. To all the hundreds of people watching us live on Facebook, a very good evening to you. Wow, very emotional this is. Swiss 3 will be next on Hotel Bravo, Quebec, Papa Juliet, and it's Walter. Wow, I do apologize for this pronunciation. Can you do this pronunciation for me, Christian?
Walter Gschwendner und Max Krebs.
Oh, thanks you. What, you've just got yourself a new job. Thank you very much, Christian.
Le premier d'ailleurs des ballons suisses vient de s'installer devant nous, piloté par messieurs Schwenter et Krebs. On va donc décoller d'ici quelques minutes.
Swiss testing the ballast.
Alors il y a des équipages de différents pays, mais il y aura encore des ballons français. Je vois que dès que vous avez entendu la Marseillaise, vous partez. Non, non, il y aura encore d'autres ballons français.
This one, you know, when it's aloft because it smokes so much.
Tell me again.
This one, you know, when it's in the air because my friend Max, the old man there,
Yes.
smokes so much that within 5 minutes in the balloon you will see a lighter and you will smoke a cigarette.
He won't be smoking in the balloon, will he?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Well, there's no problem. The gas is about 5 meters high.
How's it going now? Now we're all underway. Everything's good?
Everything is fantastic, and even the Spanish balloon is
Oh,
being
yeah, we can
lit.
see him.
Yes,
How long will it take him to inflate? Will it be in time?
it will be in time. By the time it'll be in time.
And the team from, was it Austria?
From Austria, they're
Just fixing it?
They're fixing it. There's no problem.
Good stuff. All right, everything's under control. We are good to go.
Voilà, on enlève les premiers sacs de
Okay, they say. Just testing the balance one more time. Just to wait for this next launch. The national anthem of Switzerland. And now Team Germany 1 waiting up the steps. Andreas Zumrod and Axel Huntenko. And Andre is first flight in the Gordon Bennett, and Axel as well is first flight in the Gordon Bennett. The first of our German teams make their way to the podium for their launch.
Au niveau des différents pays qui participent à cette Coupe Gordon Bennett 2019 avec
Moving them across to the centre.
Allemands, messieurs Zumrod et Mettel.
And now the extra ballast will be removed as they prepare their launch.
Voilà, le ballon est délesté, on a tout vérifié. Musique, s'il vous plaît.
Now this is a new basket, not a wicker basket like we've seen before. It's been manufactured especially for this lightweight frame carbon. National anthem of Germany plays. Here we go. And now USA 2 make their way to the podium. Already taking off some bags, some ballast. Andy Caton and John Hager make their way to the podium now. Being welcomed up. Being told 6 people only by the officials on the podium. They're not quite sure they've got 6 or not, or more, but anyway, they're going to go for it. Onto the podium. Whoa, slow down. Don't want to go too far off the back. So the USA team, buoyant, lifting in the center of the platform, ready for their launch. USA 2 on Delta Oscar Tango Lima, India. Andy Caton and John Hager. Selfies in the basket. Hands off, testing the buoyancy. Oh, it's ready to go. They're ready to fly. They don't need to take any more sand off this one. Ready for their flight. And we are ready for the national anthem of the United States of America. The first time for USA played tonight in front of this French crowd, and Austria are lined up and ready. Wow, that thing wants to fly already. Good friend of mine, Christian Wutzi Wagner, who I've also commentated in skydiving events. He's the only athlete that I've commentated over 2 separate air sports. And Nicholas Binder, and they're flying on Dossi Delta Oscars, Zulu India. I know all his family will be watching back home right now. Good evening. What's his? Just checking through the live. Christian, any good comments coming through we can see there?
Yeah, we've got many people watching the live stream and many comments, but I have to read through and
put you on the spot there.
Yeah, right on the spot. But they are wishing the teams good flights and looking forward for an exciting race.
Thanks very much. Do apologise about not reading your messages out. We've got many things going on right now. The national anthem of Austria. Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry, dobry wieczór.
Austria into the sky and Poland too are prepared. Dzień dobry, Poland. Spoko. Final checks as their ground crew surround the basket. They've got permission to rise onto the platform. This is a tricky bit on the steps. Watch your steps, guys. Watch your feet. That's right, Poland too. Our good friend Krzysztof Zapat and Adam Galinski. Gladom in his first ever Gordon Bennett, and Christoph in his 5th, actually. Poland 2 in Sierra Papa. Bravo, Mike Zulu. Checking now, hands off, calls the officials. Checking the ballast, see if we need to remove. Or how many bags of sand they are going to remove before we start. Being told by Meet Deputy Director they should have only 6 people onto the stage. I'm going to remove a few people there. Just counting round, 1, 2, 3. Should only be 6 people. Let's just get a quick word with Mr. ATC. All good tonight on the traffic control?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good,
Everybody
thank you.
okay?
Yeah.
To whom am I talking to?
You're talking to the world on the live stream. Yes, to the world. Well, you're talking to me, Regan, but
exciting, eh?
isn't it? Isn't it
is,
really
it is
emotional?
really. And all these problems they have, like the Austrian one,
Yeah.
they had to change the
Valve.
balloon,
Yeah.
and now the valve with the ladder. You say?
Yeah.
The ladder he went up there. It's incredible.
It is. This is live events for us.
Yeah, but he was. I think he was one of the third or fourth balloon. Now he can go after everybody else.
Yes.
That's some advantage also.
Yeah, you can watch and see where they're going.
Exactly. Yes.
We can see them, can't we? We'll look there to the west. We can see them disappear.
So many, yeah. And did you see the moon behind us?
Oh, it's gorgeous. We've watched it rise.
Yeah. Fine. So we're really amazing these departures already. Already in Switzerland, the 2 last years, it was always so nice to see that, and the national anthems. Huh? It makes us so great.
It does. Here we go. Waiting now for the national anthem of Poland. Just checking the vent, making sure all's good. That's a problem we had with was it the Austrian team with the vent that we had a problem with?
Yeah, it was the Austrian balloon. The problem was already fixed, and as I said earlier, it's important that the balloon can actually vent the gas when it is ascending and the gas is expanding, and so that was an essential decision to delay the launch of the Austrian balloon.
Thank you, Christian. Doing a great job, part of our team, our broadcast team. Big thank you to everybody involved today with our production. Dominic on camera, shoulders of steel, holding this. So we wait for the launch of Poland 2 and the national anthem. Final.
Launch before midnight.
What's the hold up?
It's just some trouble with his appendix. But he's fixing it.
Good job. Okay, checking everybody hands off, they say. Probably doesn't seem as fastly. Here we go, the national anthem of Poland. Poland 2 into the sky, and now the reason we are here today, the reason we are here in Montbéliard is because of these 2 next gentlemen who won the Gordon Bennett 2 years ago in Gruyere. France won, Vincent Leys and Christophe Hoover. Now, Vincent, 9 wins under his belt, 18 Gordon Bennetts, and Christophe 6 Gordon Bennetts, being told now only 6 allowed. Look at the technology they have there. GoPro helmets, all the computers, being told only 6 people allowed on. This is a very special moment. They won the Gordon Bennett 2 years ago, and they are the reason we are here in Montbéliard tonight. Vincent and Christophe, ready for their flight. Okay, we are on standby.
Well, vérifie que le ballon est suffisamment élasté et en même temps pas trop puissant. Avec pas suffisamment de nef, on devra plus se poser.
Again, get ready to hear the crowd when we start the national anthem of France for this pair. The 2017 Gordon Bennett champions. And now we are ready for the national anthem of France. The roar of 20,000 people. À tout à l'heure, Christophe. À tout à l'heure, Vincent. Okay, next up onto the podium will be Swiss 2 with Kurt Frieden and Pascal Wippelencher. And Kurt, he's actually won the Gordon Bennett 3 times, 21 championships he has raced in. And they're on Hotel Bravo, Quebec, Kilo, Foxtrot. Swiss 2 onto the centre of the podium.
Là encore, on va vérifier ce ballon tout doucement, vérifier que tout se passe bien.
Christian here on my team, just checking some of the messages coming through. Anything good to report there, Christian?
Yeah, the Swiss are really excited that Kurt and Pascal are now on the podium, and they're sending their best wishes for an exciting race and wish them good luck for for their flight.
Thank you very much, Christian. Great shot there. It looks like on the live stream, it looks like a space launch, doesn't it, with the big spotlight illuminating as we take off the extra ballast and find the point for the flight.
They are very excited about the bag which they carry along on the basket for a big supermarket chain in Switzerland.
Oh yeah, can we name it?
Yeah, Migros.
Obviously one of their sponsors.
Probably.
You can see the bag there. What's in there?
Probably food for the next 2 or 3 days. I guess they want to fly a pretty long time.
We do have the potential for some long flights. Mr. Eimers is here as well. How are you enjoying the launch?
Yes, in 2 minutes, and the next balloon is my balloon, and I'm very happy. I'm no stress.
No stress. You're walking around, doing a video.
Yeah, that's an important thing. Yeah, that's okay. The stress is finished. Yes, we can take off. The night is clear. The weather is perfect. I hope I have a good race.
Your 27th Gordon Bennett.
Yes, that's right. Yes, no stress.
No stress. Very cool, very cool. I'll see you on the return, my friend. Willie Eimers, about to take off into the unknown, and he's casually just walking around, filming the action like a tourist. It's incredible. Everybody else has got eyes wide, all the other competitors. We're just waiting now for the Swiss to be released into the night. Just checking behind me, the crowd is still full. Here we go, the national anthem of Switzerland. And next will be Germany 3
Voilà, c'était nos
making their way to the
Alors,
podium,
présente maintenant un
competing
allemand. Alors, c'est vrai que les Allemands sont
in his first
pratiquement les grands constructeurs de ce
Gordon Bennett. We have Sebastian
ballon, pardon, a été immatriculé en
Elmers with Willy.
Et donc l'équipage Heimers qui va décoller maintenant est en train de se mettre en place au niveau du point zéro. C'est notre Gordon Bennett 2019, la Coupe qui permet de voir évoluer ces machines là encore et installer les vérifier le ballon, tout ça étant confirmé et certifié par les équipes de la Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, qui est basée à Lausanne depuis maintenant quelques années, mais qui a été basée pendant de très nombreuses années, basée à Paris.
And there goes Willy, now making his way. I was a bit worried because he wasn't actually in the balloon. He was just talking to us a moment ago, and I was looking for him as he came onto the podium, and I couldn't see him. And now he just walks up casually like he's getting on a bus. With a kiss, another kiss, and into the basket he goes with his son, Willy Eimers. What a great master of Gordon Bennett he is. 4 wins, 26 flights, the most competitions, the most Gordon Bennetts of anybody else. 26. This is number 27, and Sebastian with his very first Gordon Bennett in the basket. He's been involved in Gordon Bennett's for more than 20 as ground crew and as chase crew and all the rest of it. And now, for his moment of glory, into the sky. A few more than 6 gathered round, but I don't think anybody's counting now. As Germany 3 prepare for their flight. Standing by for the national anthem of Germany.
On vérifie donc que tout soit bon. Le ballon commence à se soulever. Un moment, on va lâcher la machine dans quelques instants.
Cameras pointing into the basket from the outside. Cameras pointing out of the backstick from the inside. It's a multimedia extravaganza. And here we are live to the world. Hands off. Just checking the ballast one more time. What a moment this is for Sebastian. his first time under the bright white spotlight of the Gordon Bennett. Here, as we begin, Sebastian going live on his iPhone. Off they go. Bye-bye, Sebastian. Goodbye, Willie. See you on the return. Ha-ha! Willie Eimers waving to the crowd as he begins his 27th flight of the Gordon Bennett. And the traditional postcards being thrown out of the basket by Willie as he rises into the sky. I thought for one moment they were €100 notes, but they were postcards. That's okay. So we are moving through fast. There's not many teams left. We can see in the background, Christian, the Spanish team with that late delivery. Looks like they are ready to go. We've still got France 3, and after that will be Swiss 1, Germany 2, and then the team from Austria still to go here on the launch field of the 63rd Coupe du Monde Gordon Bennett, the World Cup of gas ballooning. And this is our final team from France. France 3 on Foxtrot Papa Alpha Lima Lima, Luc Monin and Alexis Bijat making their way up the steps on to the podium. Not sure why they're just pausing on the steps there. Just I'm trying to have a look, see what's going on. It looks like all eyes are relaxed. Doesn't seem to be much of a commotion going on around the steps. Maybe they're just pausing for something. My colleague Christian has just had a dash round to have a look. Oh, they're moving their way onto the podium. What happened there, Christian? What was that delay?
They were simply too heavy. They still had too much ballast on the basket to move it up to the podium, which was a security issue probably when they were walking over the balloon. They rather want to have more ballast on the balloon than being too light. Because if there is a gust coming in, they want to be safe on the ground.
Thank you, Christian. So, yeah, they always start with a lot of ballast on the baskets to keep them on the ground while we're waiting after the inflation, which was many hours ago in this morning. So now just checking the ballast, all hands off and back on. A bit more of a breeze now pushing through for this French team. France 3, I believe it is, the third of our French teams into the sky. Again, prepare to hear the crowd cheer for the national anthem of France. That's where we are right now in Montpellier for this distance race, the World Cup of gas ballooning. How far from here can these teams get? The one who gets the furthest after everybody has landed will be the winner. And depending on the weather conditions, it could take them anywhere. And it could last any amount of time. The longest a Gordon Bennett flight has lasted is 92 hours. But it's not an endurance race, it is a distance race. We're ready for the national anthem of France. Remember, you can follow the tracking all throughout the night and all throughout the week on the website. We'll put the website address on the strip of the screen. You can have a look at that there to follow the action, the live tracking that we have in the basket. You can actually download the app as well of Yellow Brick to follow the action as well. But all the information and the details, you can follow it all night long here at Gordon Bennett TV. Swiss 1 now, Laurent Skibos and Nicolas Tech. Nicolas has done 7 Gordon Bennetts and Laurent 5. They're on Hotel Bravo, Quebec, Romeo Victor. Swiss 1 on to the platform. Hands off calls the adjudicators. Thomas on the platform. About a metre high, this platform. Here in front of the crowd, this French crowd here on the airfield. We're going to be with you for the next week, bringing you updates every day on Gordon Bennett TV to see the progress. See who's gone where, who's gone to the west, who's gone to the east, who's in the lead, who's at what altitude, and bringing you reports on the meteorologists as well, and from the air traffic control. Are they ready? They sure are. It's time for the national anthem of Switzerland. Swiss aid to the sky. Christian's next to me, having a look at the tracking. Any early news, or is it still calm at the moment, Christian? What can we see?
Well, it's pretty calm right now. The balloons are lined up nicely, almost in the order as they took off from Montbéliard. And they are all heading west, and the Australian team, as the team that has launched as a second team, they are in the lead right now, but at this time of the race it simply does not mean anything who is in the lead or not. The race will be decided probably tomorrow night or even the night after that.
I will keep our eye on that. Next up we have Germany 2 ready for their launch here on the podium, and it is Matthias Zeng and Benjamin Eimers. So the first time ever 3 members of the same family in a Gordon Bennett. 3 of the Eimers are up. Matthias on his 9th flight in this competition, and Benjamin on his 2nd on Delta Oscar Whiskey Bravo Alpha. On the podium now with the team around them. There's 4 or 5 cameras pointed inside of them from their team. There's cameras inside pointed out. More of a breeze just picks up behind us now as we have our last 2 teams at the end of the platform waiting for their launch. We're just going to move the Austrian team back a little bit. Just because of this weak breeze, we want to make sure that Germany get a clean departure. Are they ready? Is all the ballast removed that they need to remove? Spain are just about starting making their way forward, I think. This team from, it is Austrian team, isn't it? The Austrian team is just on standby. They had a bit of a problem this morning. Austria won as Gerard and Wolfgang. They had a problem with their nozzle, but they've got that fixed. Germany are ready.
Voilà, vous pouvez voir les pilotes qui sont en train de tester leur valve de
Standing by for the national anthem of Germany.
comme je vous l'ai dit, c'est le seul moyen
Thumbs up from officials.
pour le faire monter. On va le jeter.
Information fed across to the DJ with his national anthems all queued up, ready. Putting his finger on the Germany one now. There it is. Thank you, Germany. Now on to the podium. Austria 1 with Delta Oscar Golf, Yankee November. And it is Gerard Sturzinger and Wolfgang Spate. Do apologise for any pronunciation problems. It is dark here. Trying to read the list. Checking the hands off.
On réussit à
Removing 2 more bags.
l'hydrogène qui permet justement de piloter.
All hands off, said the adjudicators. Just checking the ballast. Are they going to remove any more bags, or are they good to go like that? Just watching now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people around the basket now here on the centre of the podium. And it's a thumbs up. And it's time for the national anthem of Austria. And now what a story this Spanish team have had today. On inflation, this morning they had a malfunction of their balloon, ripped open. It was a disaster for them. What were they going to do? They managed to find a replacement in Germany, in Munster, and somebody set off from Munster to deliver it the 500 kilometres here, and they were met halfway, 250 kilometres down the road by the team from Spain. Here, rigged and filled and finished filling moments ago to make it into the competition. From Spain, we have Angel Aguirre and Anofo Gonzalez Redondo. Fantastic for them to be able to make it with moments to spare for their Gordon Bennett. A return to Gordon Bennett for Spain. And an appreciative round of applause from the audience as the French MC explains the situation.
Ils avaient tout mis en place et puis on leur a dit non, la cuve d'hydrogène devant laquelle vous êtes, elle est vide, il faut mettre 30 mètres plus loin. Alors ils ont dû bouger tout le ballon à la main.
Everything okay with the nozzle? All so far so good. Just checking now with the adjudicators that they are ready to fly. Viva España. Muy bien, muchachos. Vamos arriba. The thumbs up. It's time for the national anthem of Spain. What a proud moment for these guys. They didn't think they were going to make it. Un baratio, big hugs as they climb into the sky. Muy bien, muchachos. Muy bien. Well, what a day it has been here in Montbéliard. From early on this morning, from the arrival of the teams to the inflation of the 20 balloons for the 63rd Coupe du Monde Gordon Bennett, the World Cup of gas ballooning. The launch is done with controversy, with Austria having a malfunction just on the podium, having to come off back onto the field for a quick repair, with Spain with a ruptured canopy this morning and a delivery from Germany to make sure they make it onto the podium with minutes to spare for their flight here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring the day's action to you for everybody involved here in Montbéliard and all the production team as well. We want to say thank you for joining us, and we'll be back tomorrow morning with all the analysis of the overnight action of the tracking and the teams and the air traffic control as well, and an update on the weather. But for me, Regan Tetlow and all the team, it's a very good night. Good night.
Savoir que plus de 100 ans après, on est toujours à ses côtés. Et puis, pour cette activité, donc en plus des différentes autorités pour les autorisations.
Well done. Thank you very much.